caught my shorts with my ankles.
Live your life within the moment, moment. And don't go wait until the morning, morning. You never know when it is over, over. All that I know is we'll get older, older. So let us dance this night away. Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. Get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker.
Good morning. I am currently in my happy place. I am at the lake in my kayak, and it is just so wonderful. It's like, I don't know, like 8:30 in the morning, and already the sun is out and it is doing its job because I'm already feeling a little warm, but it is so wonderful to be out here on the lake before everybody gets up and the water gets a little bit more crowded and choppy. But anyway, Mark and I are here with his family at Lake Kiowee in South Carolina, and we're here for an entire week, and we've already been here for a few days, and it's just been lovely. We've been just kind of enjoying each other. We've been cooking a lot, having, drinks by the water. We have this wonderful waterfront house that we're all staying in, and so we've been here a few times to this lake. One time we did cabins, another time we rented an RV, and then this year we're all under one roof at a home here that's right on the lake. And so we brought our kayaks, and we also have rented a boat for the week, which has been a lot of fun. And so yeah, we're just having a good time, just relaxing and enjoying family and just kind of disconnecting. And I always feel like the time that I can disconnect best is when I am in nature. And so this morning I thought that I would get up and just kind of show you guys around a little bit, and also wanted to answer some questions that I've gotten from you guys over the last year. I've been collecting those questions that I've asked over on my newsletter, and if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, I highly suggest that you do that, because we have a lot of fun over there every Friday morning, and I kind of share a recap of what the week was about. I also tell you guys about my weekend plans, and then we always talk about like a specific project. I have shopping ideas. I have the thing called Slow Your Scroll, where I just am scrolling all week, and when I find things that I think that are really fun and shareable and I think that you guys would enjoy too, I add those links to my newsletter every Friday. And so there's lots and lots of people that have signed up for the newsletter. I promise you that I only post once a week. I do not spam your inbox, I promise that. And we just always have a really good time. So if you follow my newsletter, then you know that I am here at the lake this week. And so I thought that I would go ahead and answer some of the questions that I have asked you guys for over on my newsletter as well as my Instagram. And I thought, what better way to do that than here on the water. So I'm gonna pull out my phone and grab the first question, because I wrote them down before I came out here on the water. So hold on just a second, because it looks like I am I'm about to crash into this big stick. Okay, so my first question, and this is the question that I get asked a lot, and it says, in your newsletter you mention your daytime job, but you never actually mention what you do for your job. What is it that you do for a living? And I will first say that right now YouTube is not my full-time job, but I really hope that it will be one day soon. I absolutely love this channel, and I hope to be able to grow it to a point where this becomes my daytime job, where I get to travel the world and just share my life experiences with you guys. But until that happens, for all of my career, I have been in healthcare marketing. And so basically I started out in scientific publications, where we're essentially just helping physicians and our clients, which were pharmaceutical companies, help to publish their data in academic congresses as well as scientific journals. And so I did that for quite a long time before moving to New York City, where I moved more into the advertising for healthcare for pharmaceutical companies. So we did a lot of magazine spreads and commercials and lots of videos and sales training. So we all have seen the sales reps, the pharmaceutical sales reps that come into our doctors' offices. Well, it was part of my job to help create the content and the educational materials for the pharmaceutical companies to be able to, not the pharmaceutical companies, the pharmaceutical reps, to be able to learn about all of the drugs that they would be selling, and also to know what they could and what they could not say. They couldn't just go in there and say any old thing. Most of the time, what is being said in the doctor's office is scripted, and so a lot of the materials that we created developed that content for our clients. And so now, instead of working at an agency, I actually work for a pharmaceutical company, and they are based out of Spain. And my entire team, I have one other person, but we both work remote here in the US, and then the rest of my team are all in Spain. So with the time difference, it kind of makes it a little more difficult, but I'm able to get up a little earlier to make sure that I have time with them while they're in the office. And then when they go home, then I can finish up the day. And so it's been really nice to be able to work from home 100%. And then, after the pandemic, it just really made sense for me to continue working from home, because like I said, my entire team is in Spain, and it really just didn't make sense for me to go into the office. So, long story short, that is what I do for a living, but one day I am manifesting that YouTube will be how I get my main source of income. So keep liking, keep sharing, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because all of those little clicks definitely help me reach that goal. So let me pull out my phone for the second question. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. What drives you to live a life well lived? Well, I will definitely say, and let me actually turn around so that you guys can see me a little bit better, but the sun is out and about this morning. There we go. And so I'm just going to actually turn all the way around before I get lost and not remember how to get back. So for my, what drives me to live a life well lived? Well, I think the answer to that, honestly, is in the very first video that I ever did, kind of my welcome video to YouTube. And basically in that video, I share with you guys the loss of my aunt. And my aunt, she was amazing. Everyone loved her. She was kind of the life of the family. And she worked really, really hard. I just always remember her working a lot. She worked, even when she would come to visit, she was always on call. Someone was always asking her questions, and she was just always working. And while she took vacations here and there and, tried to live the best life that she could here and there, she was just waiting for retirement to do all the things that she loved. Like, she wanted to go see the ballet. She thought about, getting a house on the beach. She loved the water, wanted to take a lot of vacations, and so she saved and saved and saved. And I don't know how much money she ended up saving towards her retirement, but I know that if she would have lived to be able to live her best life after retirement, I know that she was set. Because I know that she was very responsible in that way, and just making sure that she was going to be taken care of while she was no longer working. And so 2 weeks after she retired, she passed away from a heart attack. and it devastated our entire family. And I miss her to this day terribly, but I truly do feel that she comes and visits me by way of a monarch butterfly. There's every once in a while, especially during times of stress. I remember there was one time that I was living in New York City and I had to do this big presentation for Pfizer. And I was sitting in the conference room at the time by myself, and I was so nervous. I was like, I just felt like imposter syndrome. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. How are these people going to believe what I'm saying and think that I'm trustworthy? And I had so much self-doubt. And so I was sitting in that conference room and I was just saying, Lord, help me get through this. Help me get through this. And in New York City, where I haven't seen very many butterflies, there was a monarch butterfly that landed on the window, and it stayed and it just lingered, and I noticed it and I felt like it was looking at me, and I just knew that that was my Aunt Bootsy saying, you got this, girl. You got this. You know, you've practiced. You know your script. Just go in there. You're going to wow them. And that just calmed me. And so I believe that she still visits me from time to time, like I said, as a monarch butterfly. But I would do anything to have her here with me. And so, the thing that drives me the most is we don't know when we're going to take our last breath. I don't know if this is my last kayaking trip. We never know when our last breath is going to happen. And so instead of waiting for retirement or enough money or until we get married or until we're in that relationship or until we have that kid or whatever it is that we put out there that we wait for us to live our lives, forget all that. Just do it now while we have the time. If you think that something is too expensive, then just take the time to save for it. If you just don't want to go on a trip alone, I'm telling you, you're going to have a fabulous time and you're going to meet some wonderful people. I actually feel like I meet more people when I'm traveling alone versus traveling with other people. I love to travel with other people, but I've gone on a couple of solo trips to Spain and to Morocco, as I've mentioned in my first video, and I absolutely love it. And so don't worry if you don't have someone to go with or someone to travel with. Have these experiences on your own, because you just never know when it's going to be the last time that you're going to be able to have those experiences. So my aunt passing right before she started to live her life or wanted to live her life has really pushed me into doing what I'm doing right now. I honestly do not wait for a thing. I do absolutely everything that I want to do. I feel like I belong in every place in this world. There's not one single place that I don't feel like I belong to be there. And it really is because of her pushing me. And while she was away, she just was always, my mother always is and my parents are my role models for sure. But if I had an extended role model, it would be my Aunt Bootsy, and her death kind of jump started and made me pivot. We have these pivots in life. We have these opportunities in life to pivot, and it really is up to us if we decide to go along with that pivot. And I feel like I've probably had other opportunities before her death to make some changes in my life, but it was something about that of realizing, man, she never got to live the thing that she was waiting for and saving for all of her life. And so I'm gonna live it for her, and that's what I'm doing. Who in a million years would think me, the girl who loves the city, would be out here in nature kayaking by herself? Mark is out golfing with his brother-in-law and nephew, and I just decided to come out here and talk to you guys and get a little exercise in and just be out here in the water, because it does get a little congested throughout the day with skiers and jet skis and boats and things like that. But if you can get one thing out of this very, very long-winded answer is, one, go back and watch my very first video, and two, just live your life. No matter what, just live your life. the way that you wanted without any restrictions. All right, there's a little beach right here that I'm gonna go to and just stop for a little bit and get a break from all of the sun, and then I will go ahead and answer the next question. So hold on just a second. Okay, so the next question is, do you ever deal with any insecurities? And my answer to that is, of course I do. I am very comfortable with being behind the camera and taking pictures and videos of what is in front of me. But in the beginning of starting this YouTube, it took me a very long time to be comfortable with turning that camera around and showing my face and my body. I definitely struggle with body insecurities. You know, I think we probably all do. We all want to be smaller or bigger boobs or smaller boobs or bigger butt or smaller butt, more curves, less curves. You know what? I think I am drifting a little bit. Let me go back here a little bit just because I don't want to get out in the sun right now. It's really hot. But yeah, I definitely deal with body insecurities, and so, you know, it's taken some time for me to get very comfortable in my body and being in front of the camera. And then the more that I thought about it is that you guys aren't here because of how I look, at least I hope not, and probably all the insecurities that I just mentioned, you guys might not even notice that about me. There are times once in a while that I'll shoot something and then I'm looking back at the film, just trying to edit it, and I'm like, ooh, I don't like that angle. Oh, I hate how my nose looks or my chin looks, or I hate how my boobs look in that shot. I wish I would have shot it in a different angle. And I'm looking at all of these things and I'm like, they're not paying attention to that. They honestly do not care what you look like. At least I hope that you guys don't. But it is something that I struggle with and have struggled with probably most of my life, and social media absolutely doesn't help because you're constantly looking at other people, comparing yourself and your body to theirs. And so I think that is definitely my biggest insecurity, is just you know, my body. I wish I were thinner, but right now I'm really healthy. I'm the healthiest I've been in a really long time. You know, my doctor congratulated me the last time that I was there. I'm eating better. I'm exercising more. I'm drinking green juices almost every day, and so I feel really, really good. But you know, in my heart of hearts, do I wish that I was thinner? Of course I do. But I'm not allowing that to stop me from doing the things that I want to do, getting into a swimsuit, turning the camera around and filming myself, because if I did do that, then that would kind of be against what this channel is all about. And I want to live my life now while I'm this size, while I'm thinner, while I might be even bigger. I don't want that to be a limiting factor in how I live and experience the rest of my days here. If I had another insecurity to talk about, it would probably be comparison. Just comparison to other YouTubers, comparison to other you know, people who love design, whether it's home design, fashion design. You know, social media doesn't help in that way either, that we're constantly seeing all of these wonderful, great things that people are doing, and you kind of look at your stuff and be like, you know, my stuff isn't that great. Oh, I wish I could have done that, or I wish I could have afforded that. You know, we're always looking at other people and what they're doing, but at the end of the day, we just have to do what feels good to us and what feels, you know, right and natural for us. And it doesn't matter what other people are doing. Everybody is struggling with something. You know, whether it's insecurities, whether it's money or relationships or, you know, family issues or childhood issues. We are all dealing with all sorts of things, and so we should never, or we should try to limit our comparison, because you have to remember that what people are putting out into the world are the highlights of their life, and very few people are filming the low times in their lives, and we all have them. And so we all just kind of have to be out here doing the best that we can do without constantly worrying about what everybody else is doing. So I am going to answer probably one more question. I'm going to head back to the house because it is getting very warm out here, and while it is very lovely on this beach, I forgot to bring water, and I've been talking all of this time, and I need to get some water, get some breakfast, and then I figured throughout my time here at the lake that I would just continue answering some questions in kind of different venues. So I've been here in the kayak. Hopefully I can answer a question or two on the boat. I think we're going to do s'mores later today, so I'll just be showing you guys around and answering questions as I go. But I wanted to do like a different type of question answer format where I'm kind of out doing something instead of just at home sitting in a chair answering a bunch of questions. So I am gonna keep on going. I'm gonna turn myself around here, and I will see you guys a little later on. Hello. So we are about to take Mark's niece and nephew out on the boat because they want to go tubing again. We took them out several days ago, and now they are so obsessed they want to do this all day long. So for the most part, Mark and I have been taking them out every single day, and so we're about to take them out now, but I thought that I would come back and answer another question or two until they come out here. So let's see, what do I have next? Let's see. Do I have any other home projects that I plan to tackle this year? Well, Mark and I have decided to take a break after we did the living room, dining room, foyer areas. And right now we're just really busy with like traveling and visiting family that we decided to take the summer off. But what we're going to do in the fall are a few things. So we're going to tackle a very small half bath that we have downstairs off of the kitchen. So we're going to be tackling that, completely renovating that, new floors, new tile, new sinks, new wall treatments. It's going to be really, really beautiful. I kind of already know what I want to do in that space. We just need the time to actually do it. And then we are going to be taking off all of the carpet up all of the stairs, going from the downstairs to the upstairs, of course, and doing hardwood floors all along the flooring all the way up the stairs and down the hallway. So that'll be hardwood, and it's going to be very beautiful. It will match what we already have down in the living room. So I'm very much looking forward to that, because I think once that is done, then for the most part the downstairs will be completely finished. And then probably later in the fall we're going to be starting to work on our master suite, so our bedroom as well as our bathroom. And we're not going to completely gut the bathroom, but we're going to make some really big changes in there. Like we're definitely going to paint, we're going to retile the floor, as well as get a new vanity, probably new mirrors and lighting. So I think that's going to be a really fun project. I don't know why we have waited to do our personal projects at our, our personal room as our last project, because that's where we spend the most time if we're not downstairs. But for whatever reason, we have waited to the very end. So in the fall, we plan to work on all of those things. But for right now, we're just enjoying taking some time off, traveling, and again, having some time with family. So I actually hear the kids coming now. So I'm gonna let you go here, but I will come back for maybe 1 or 2 more questions and then we will wrap this video up. So I will see you guys over on the boat. Here's Felicity. And here's Tristan. Tristan, they both, are you going on the tube?
I told Mark that yesterday he wasn't cutting it with the waves. He needs to amp it up with me.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, I want to get flipped over.
Oh boy.
So do this. Okay? You're gonna lay on the tube. This. And you're gonna hold on like right here. Well, I'm gonna be right there. You be right there.
That's good practice.
I told Mark that yesterday he wasn't cutting it with the waves. He needs to amp it up with me.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, I want to get flipped over.
Oh boy.
I caught my shorts with my ankles. If it wasn't for my ankles, they would be somewhere else.
Oh my god. Nice and burnt, the best way to have some more.
It's so burnt.
morning. So today is our last day here at the lake, and so I thought that I would come down here to the water this morning and just have some time by myself, some time to meditate, and just have a very quiet morning before the rest of the house gets up. And so I also thought, because I know that I have a couple of last questions that I need to answer for you guys, that I would do that at this time. So let me pull up my questions. Oh, this is funny. Do you think your personality is different on camera versus off camera? I should have Mark down here to answer that for you guys, but since he's upstairs working, I will go ahead and try to answer to the best of my ability. So on screen, I try to be as positive and welcoming as possible, and I really want this to be a safe space. I really want to be able to encourage you guys to be out here doing all of the things that you want to do in life right now while you can. You guys know that message. I've been harping on it since video 1, and I will continue to until the end of this channel. Off camera, I can say that I try to be as positive and happy as I am on camera, but you know, life happens. Sometimes I get really stressed with deadlines. Sometimes all the time I overwork myself. I am a self-proclaimed perfectionist, and so when things aren't the way that I want them to be, I can sometimes get a little anxious. And so while most of the time I try to be just as you see on camera, I'm normal, and life happens and things happen, and sometimes when things don't go as planned, I don't take them as well. So it will be interesting to see what Mark has to say, because you know, he gets to see the behind the scenes, he gets to see the stress sometimes, and he gets to see sometimes even the tears and how tired I get, because sometimes I even stay up all night to edit videos for you guys so that you'll have them right at 10 o'clock each and every Sunday. I know that I could probably say, hey guys, sorry, it was a long night, I'm not gonna have a video for you until 12 o'clock, or even maybe not even till tomorrow. But then there's something else in my head that says, no, I told them every Sunday at 10 o'clock a.m. there has to be a video, so I'm gonna stay up and make that happen. And so behind the scenes, sometimes it gets a little stressful, but for the most part, I really do try to stay as calm and as positive as I possibly can. So hopefully that answers your questions, but I promise you that if you meet me out, if you ever see me out, I've had several people say, oh, I saw you at this bar, or I saw you at this restaurant, but I was afraid to come up to you, I didn't want to interrupt. Come and interrupt me. I want to meet you guys in person. I would love to. I mean, if you see me at a bar, come up to me. I promise you I'll buy you a drink. I promise that. I love to see you guys out in the world, and so if you ever see me, never fear that you are interrupting my time. I would love to meet you, and hopefully the face that you get that day is what you see here on screen. So with that, I am going to spend these last several hours with the family, and then we're going to pack up and get on the road. But I did want to come down here and just at least finish up this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I've been meaning to do one of these question and answer videos for a long time, so I thought this was a great way to do that. Instead of just me sitting in a chair, like I said earlier, answering questions, I thought that I would kind of show you bits and pieces of this trip along the way. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.